The struggle is real. One of the worst things that could happen in a project is to have a dreadful, difficult, or stubborn client. This is a situation you definitely don't want to be in, and if you happen to be in this situation, it is better for you to always have a plan. In this video, I'll be talking about all the types of dreadful clients, at least that I know of, and what you can do about them. My name is Patricia, and this is the Designer 101. The worst thing about this is that it can happen to anyone, anywhere, anytime, because, well, we live in a world full of different personalities and, of course, bad luck. So let's start by recognizing some before it's too late. No credentials. This is a phantom fake client. It's not exactly a difficult one, and it could also not be one, but it's definitely a red flag if you don't establish some ground rules. Try to get all your clients' information as possible. Phone number, address of the project, email, something that tells you this is a real person and wants to do real business. Engage him or her enough, but not too much. If you're unsure, you can establish a little contract just to be sure he's honest. Unclear of its needs and desires. This may be the most common of all. This is the type of client that could go months and months with different proposals and may make you think you will never nail it. Sometimes this client will imply that you're not doing a good job or you just don't get its needs. But relax, this is not the case. The last thing you need is becoming depressed or concerned and have doubts about your own abilities. When this happens, creating a mood board is key. It will save you lots of time figuring out a new design or colors. This tool can help your clients untangle his thoughts and decide on a theme or style. You can also establish a number of changes he's allowed to do before charging extra. No one wants to pay extra for something that may not be necessary, and this may prompt him or her to make an effort and work with you. Also, consider asking for referential images to the client as to establish a common ground to work with you. Mr. and Mrs. Perfect. This one for me is the hardest. Everything needs to be perfect, from shapes to colors to textures to the last detail of your final images. If you're in the construction phase, I'm talking about buying the exact sunglasses you represented in the rendering. Nothing can be slightly crooked or slightly scratched, not a millimeter less or more. Depending on the quality work of your suppliers, this client can become a happy client. You just have to be like the police of finishes and verify every single piece during the construction of the project. Unfortunately, this is something you cannot change or fix. They're just the way they are. The best thing you can do here is be there 100% of the time. The worst thing that could happen is them blaming you for allowing a catastrophe to happen. If this compromises your time and effort, consider offering a full supervision fee or designate someone to do that full-time job on the project. Way too expensive. For this client, your work is so easy and you can make it in no time. In fact, he thinks that with a phone app, everything should be fine and more than enough. The fact is that your work has value and you invest time and resources in it. Complaints about the bill are so common these days that people are starting to lower their fees so much just to make a client happy at one's own expense. And let's clarify something. Your work may not be as hard or time-consuming as the client says, but that doesn't mean that you haven't spent years studying and learning about becoming good and excelling at all these things. Your time and effort will be charged as you may see fit. And just to be sure, you can always compare your fees with the regular fees a company will charge. In this situation, it is best to clarify from the beginning all possible charges and fees you might have during your work. Fast and furious. Here, time is no joke. This client demands so much for so little time. It's the perfect formula to end up exhausted, frustrated, and even angry because he will always require more changes. The time of delivery is very important to clarify at the beginning of the project. It's always better practice after a meeting to inform when the changes will be ready or schedule the next meeting to follow up. Some of these clients won't be patient enough, and you can always negotiate. Don't give in to all its demands and the time frame they desire, and try to meet them halfway in this if this is the case. I wish I could provide you with a magic solution for every single case, but the reality is that every scenario is different and you're going to have to handle it the best way you can possibly think of. This is my small but very important list I figured out when dealing with the worst people. So listen to all their concerns. People like to be heard and always wish for understanding. I'm not trying to defend anyone here, but everyone has a lot in their hands. Sometimes the design is not always accurate because it is our wishes instead of the clients. Offer solutions. Even the hardest clients rely on you for a solution to their problems. Remember, they hire you in the first place, so take advantage of that and try to give 110% to make your client happy with all the solutions you can think of. It's better for the client to notice this position in you. Negotiate. It's always better to come to an understanding instead of ending things badly with the client. In some cases, you won't get any profits because of how bad things went, but it's better for you to your reputation to maintain your last drop of patience. Trust me, it will pay up in the long run. Terminate the project. My least favorite, but definitely a reality. If you notice that it's not worth it all the trouble and you keep losing time, money, and patience, your client is not happy either and wants the same thing, it's best to identify the moment you need to leave for the greater good. This doesn't mean that you're bad at what you do, just that it was bigger than you can handle and it's fine. Opportunities will not stop coming. Don't blame yourself because you're only trying to succeed in your career, make a name out of yourself, and grow your client list. And that's it for today. I hope you liked this video and subscribe for more. See you next time.